And once again, we are back now. We are halfway through it, and so far with less problems than I expected. We're actually on schedule, and let's hope it keeps that way and I don't jinx it now. But let's move over to the next guest. It's Spam. I call him the face of the streaming scene in Trackmania. And if you are the face of the streaming scene, I guess you like the life in Trackmania at the moment with over 100,000 viewers on Twitch streaming or watching Trackmania. But Spam, tell us, how are you at the moment? Are you busy or is everything as usual? Are you feeling the impact from the new game?
I'm definitely feeling the impact, and it's definitely not the usual day for me anymore. Um, I've been putting a lot of effort into streaming hours and creating some nice content also for YouTube, and it's the last 4 or 5 days I've just been. It's like everyone is blowing up. My numbers have doubled. I mean, everyone's numbers are doubling right now, and it's just, I mean, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, you can tell people that you are streaming for so long, then you know that there's a new game coming out. You know that this is going to be a big opportunity. Did you plan stuff beforehand? Is it maybe going from day to day to see what the viewers like? How are you as a streamer planning out this process and the new game and trying to eventually benefit as much as you can from it?
Yeah, it's a really fun question because the last 2 years I've contemplated stopping at all, like completely. But every time when I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stop right now, and then I get a new organization. Okay, then I keep going, right? Then I get invited to Grand League. Okay, then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's time now. No, there's gonna be a new game release. So it's like a constant thing that like boosts the motivation again to keep going. Yeah, it's just crazy. I've been doing this for like, I think my first stream was back in 2011, and in 2015 or 16 I just did it like way more than usual. So yeah, it's crazy to see that the game is blowing up right now, and it definitely deserves all the exposure.
But from your chat, you have dedicated fans that is following you for then a long time. They have watched a lot of Trackmania content. Are they liking what they see? Do they enjoy the new game? What is the feedback from your community about this new game?
I think it's mostly positive. Like the only negative things that you see is about the limitations that the free version have, or the subscription model, or that it's not on Steam. I haven't really seen anything gameplay wise that is really negative. Maybe the ice, but the new blocks in general like get a lot of flag, but like it's the first few days, so everyone is still learning. But besides that, I think everyone enjoys the game, mainly because of the hype. Like
Mm.
that is just what is fueling the game right now.
Yeah, you talk a lot about the hype. How long do you think the hype is going to stick around for? How long do you think that we will have these numbers that we have at the moment on Twitch?
I think it really depends on. I mean, the numbers for me and let's say Riolu and all these other streamers that have been streaming the game for a long time, they will stay. But it really depends on the player or the new people that are streaming. I saw like earlier today, Papa Plate was streaming. It's a German streamer who played also in the chess Polk Champs event. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but
Yeah.
it's a big name that is picking up the game, and I think he was streaming with Trilux. So yeah, it's like the German community is getting together. Like these massive streamers in NA are streaming it, and if they continue to do it, then Trackmania will be in the forefront of Twitch, and it just stays like how it is right now. I don't think it's gonna grow even further than the peak that we had on day 1 or 2, but it's definitely gonna stay like how it is right now.
Hmm. You mentioned that you have now for the last 2 years been at some points in your career saying, this is the end. But if you look now into the future, do you have any idea about what this can do for the future? Do you think that this can eventually maybe make you stay for another 2 years? Do you think that if this game dies out around New Year's, then you leave? Can you tell us, how do you think this game influenced your overall career in Trackmania?
Well, I don't really have a lot of things planned besides finishing the Trackmania Grand League. Obviously, it's a main thing, and after that, I just have to see what's up. Like I'm turning 26 in 2 weeks, so I'm getting to an age where I have to basically decide or to think about my future as well. But I'm gonna continue on going as long as I can because I still do enjoy it, and I love it, and yeah, if I can do it, why wouldn't I?
Hmm. You're mentioning 26 and talking about that as a bad age. I'm 26. Hey, man, I'm still thinking around in Trackmania. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's about the time in your career. And I mentioned this a lot of times that the sort of top scene in Trackmania at the moment is maybe at a generation point when what do they do in the future of their life? Do they stick to Trackmania? Do they have as much time as they have, or will they eventually leave? Do you think that maybe more players will eventually leave Trackmania because you're getting to an age where should I really spend that much time in a game, or should I actually see what else there is to do in life?
I think a lot of people are gonna come to this age and they have to realize like that you cannot do this forever, right? It's impossible. There's gonna come an age where you think like, okay, nah, it's time.
Mm.
It's time to let it go, and then the newcomers come in. Like Gwen is a great example. I mean, he has been playing for years as well, but he is still like young and fresh. And we need people like that to quote unquote replace the
Yeah.
veterans under us, because we're not going to be here forever, especially the older people. So yeah, there needs to be like new blood to get in the game and get involved. And yeah, I mean, maybe it happens this year, maybe it happens next year. We'll have to wait and see.
But do you actually think that there will be some new players in the scene? I mean, you mentioned Gwen, who is already somewhat established there now with his qualification to Trackmania Grand League. But I saw you, it was today that you posted on Twitter or on YouTube, sorry, that you went through your run at ESWC. It was ESWC 2011. It's 9 years ago, and you're still at the last big event in Trackmania, which was Trackmania Grand League and Leon Esport, fifth and fourth. So you're still a top player. 9 years. I mean, do you think that you are just too good for players to catch up to you guys, or do you think that now a new game, this skill gap, will be shorter and eventually we can see new players in the top?
Yeah, I definitely think the skill gap is going to be shortened right now, especially with all the new services. I mean, I have to basically learn it as well. So everyone starts almost at the same level. Maybe I have a better background, and a little bit more skill, but like the learning curve for me is going to be longer than someone who is way younger than me. That's a known thing. But yeah, I think I hope the skill gap is gonna get smaller. I mean, we've seen it throughout the years already that the skill gap is getting smaller, and competition is way more tight. And it's not like one person is dominating. I mean, obviously, Carl Jr. could be an example of like ultra domination, but we've seen Kappa right now like challenging. We've seen Tween, we've seen Pack. Like the skill gap is getting smaller and smaller. So throughout the years, and with this new game, it's definitely gonna be that case.
Hmm. And we talk a lot about you as a streamer, but let's move over to you as a player then. Do you think that you will still be one of the best players in the new game? Do you think that you are too old to learn new things, as you say, that you eventually other people will benefit from a new game? What is your personal views or personal goals in the new Trackmania as a player and a competitive player?
I still think that I'm definitely a top 5 player. Like I'm not a top 1 player. Like I've made complete peace with that. Maybe on a lucky day I can still win a competition, but um I consider myself always a top 8 contender. So like looking at the next season for Grand League, I am gonna be a top 8 contender. Like there's no doubt about that. Like I'm gonna do my ultra best to stay in the top 8 for as long as I can. And it's like I can kind of compare it with like I've been following bodybuilding for quite some time, and there's this 52-year-old bodybuilder, and he has always been like a top 5 placer, and he always said like when he decides to place outside of the top 8, he's done. He quits.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of, I might be in the same thought process. Like if I'm gonna get like 10th at like 2 or 3 events, then I know okay maybe I should just become a Bergie and coach someone.
Or you stick
Yeah.
around until you're 52 years old.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
But you said you watched the interviews that I've done so far today, and I guess this is then an obvious question for you. You expected it. You have 2 events coming up, Trackmania Grand League, ZrT event. Which of those events are you more favorable on looking to perform as and taking more serious?
I think for me it's more the Grand League. Um, I think the for the ZrT Cup you really have to play every single day. I mean, there are people that play just the ZrT maps for like 8 hours a day. Like there's no way I can force myself to play 8 hours a day on these ZrT maps. I mean, I am gonna play, and hopefully I get far. Like, but right now my focus is on Grand League, and then next week I will go full hard mode on the ZrT Cup maps.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You mentioned Trackmania Grand League. Something that is happening after we was in Lyon is the news that you are no longer part of Diffused Kids. You are orgless. Is there any news about you as a? I asked Scrappy about it, and he said he's obviously not going to announce it here. I don't expect you to announce it, but can you say, do you have an org? Do you know that? Are you secured, or maybe you start Trackmania Grand League as an orgless player?
Everyone will have an org.
Okay.
I'll just I'll keep it at that.
So you're not going to say if you feel secured about. Do you have an org?
I don't know.
You will have an
you
org.
have
That's
to
cool.
you have to wait and see who has what org. But
Okay.
everyone will have an org, yes.
Mm. But if you look at then you're a top player and you have been along for a long time, so I guess you have a good view of the top field in the game. Do you think who is going to be the winner of Trackmania Grand League? Is it once again Carl after what he did in Lyon? Is it maybe Gwen who said he's a new player and can learn stuff faster? Who do you see as the main favorites for the upcoming Trackmania Grand League season?
I think it's really going to depend on how the maps are going to look, because we have no idea how or what these mappers are going to build for us. In Mania Planet, you had your dirt, you had your platform, you had your few jumps, but right now it's like completely different. Also with the penalty system on the different blocks where you touch the grass, you just lose tremendous amount of speed, or you touch the lighter sand. Like, all these things are gonna be in a like we have to wait and see how the maps are gonna evolve. And I think the person who adapts the quickest is gonna yield the best results. And
Hmm.
that could be me, that could be Riolu, that could be like Gwen, or maybe it's Masa. Like, we don't know. It's really gonna depend on the maps.
Hmm. I take some pride in making Pack play with the Sidemen and Circa there, bringing them together. You are a streamer. I say you are the face of the streaming scene in Trackmania. If you could pick a content creator or a streamer that you would love to maybe teach Trackmania or maybe be playing Trackmania with, do you have any streamer that you want to see playing Trackmania that maybe haven't played, or maybe someone that has already played that you would love to play against and play with?
If I had to say like a Dutch content creator, it would probably be like there's this guy called Gameneer. He has like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he is really into Formula One. And yeah, I watch his videos, and he's always really entertaining in Dutch, and like I'm Dutch as well, so that could be a nice thing. But if I had to pick like an international streamer, I mean, any of the big streamers would be like insane to play with. I actually thought about this in my last stream, to organize like, or write a document and send it over to Twitch or Omar about Twitch rifles,
Yeah.
where all of the 16 TMGL players gets paired up with a streamer, and it's basically a duo tournament. And I don't know, I think it would be so fun to see like every single TMGL player having a casual streamer under their wings and just play a tournament against each other. I think it could be a nice thing, but yeah, I didn't start writing it yet, so it's just an idea.
Yeah, after I watched Lyric and XQC play 1v1, actually the same idea. It was like, this is perfect for Twitch rivals,
Yeah, I
fun
saw your
streamers.
tweet.
Yeah, big streamers that essentially has no clue about the game, playing against each other. People have fun with it because they like the content creator, and Trackmania as a competitive esport gets somewhat of an attention from it. And let's make it happen. You're bigger than me, so I give the torch over to you. Send a document to
All right,
Omar.
I'll give the torch to someone else who writes it for me, and then
Omar,
send it to me.
Omar.
But yeah, I think the idea is really good, and I think it could be like actually really
Yeah.
entertaining, because we've seen what ZrT can do with Trackmania, entertaining. So yeah, I think it could be good and would be really fun to watch and do as well.
If you have a streamer to then teach and give us a name, who would you pick?
Oof. I have no idea. I actually have no. There are just too many. Like, you want to play with Lyric, you want to play with Soda Poppin, you want to play with all these big names, because they're like, not even just for the exposure, but because how they are as a person on
Yeah.
stream. That they're entertainers, they're funny, they troll, they meme, they're like it. Yeah, any one of those would be sick.
Hmm. And looking at the clock now, we actually over time here is 21:15, so I already have the scrap, no, Matt looking to be the next one. But I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And if people want to follow you on Twitch, when are you streaming these days?
Tomorrow again. Tomorrow, like almost every single day, just not on Tuesdays. That is
At what
basically the
time?
schedule. Like early afternoon, till late in the evening when the TTC starts. I really need to make a schedule, to be honest. I've been streaming without a schedule for so long. I'm always like, yeah, early, late afternoon. So that can be like from 12 to 5. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time, and good luck in the upcoming TMGL show match, in the ZrT qualification, and then eventually in the Trackmania Grand League season.
Yeah, I appreciate you as well for doing all of this. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I try my best. That's it for spam. Next up should be Matt if he's ready. I guess it's time to end it. That's it. Little break now, and then Matt is the next one.
Bye bye.